ready to go for Samoa against Wales as we switch over to Pool B. Ricky Swan, it's a pleasure to have alongside me on debut Madison Hughes, former USA captain, and what a way to get into it, Madison, Samoa and Wales.
Really looking forward to it. Two fantastic teams, a lot of inexperience here, and I think that's going to bring some real excitement as players look to show up and show what they've got on the biggest stage.
And as always, the Welsh fans in the house, and Samoa, how good to see them back on the series. Performed really well in Singapore last week, finishing off 8th, and they're just something, a new team, a new young team under Brian Lee to really start to build from.
Yeah, they were really impressive last weekend. Lots of players who hadn't really played on the World Series before. Obviously, Samoa hadn't been there as a team for a long time either, so that's really tough to come in when you haven't had that match experience, that match practice recently, and they really impressed, and they're going to look to build on that this weekend.
One of the most experienced refs on the series, Jordan Way, in charge of this one. Wales in their traditional red, Samoa in the blue to begin Pool B action. Through the Wales captain, Luke Trahan. What a servant he is. And it is Trahan who goes shallow, and just the 10, wonderfully taken in the air by Samoa. They'll get first possession, first chance to attack here at BC Place, early doors on day one of the HSBC Canada Sevens in Vancouver. Here's Afasua, one of the leadership group in the Samoan team. An early penalty against Wales. Scanlon will tap and they will spread. Samoa just sits up on that turf here, and Matavao tries to get around the outside, slips a nice little ball. Oh, and the footwork too from Steve on his side, gets rid of Trahan. What to start for Samoa. Teamwork got him there, but then some individual brilliance, and Steve on his side gets Samoa underway.
Just inside.
Wow, what an individual finish from on his side. That was really special. He got the ball, not much space, got the one-on-one. Fantastic footwork there, and then the big bump on Trahan. He's tiptoeing his way down the sideline. Really fantastic work, and that's exactly how he'll have wanted to start this weekend off.
What a start for Samoa. Oh, Luke Trahan coming across. Well, not everyone's thrilled to see Samoa back. You probably took the right time to have a bit of a break from the game. The Samoans coming back in.
Yeah, as that sweeper coming across, sometimes you know you're on a mission to nothing, and he saw on his side coming and knew there was a big bump ahead.
Try and convert it as well. Great start for Samoa. It's knocked away by Wales. Samoa are going to get good attacking possession here, 10 metres inside the Welsh half once more. Knock on into touch it is. So the choice will be Samoa's. And we are seeing this a lot, aren't we? The scrum is the restart option from teams.
Yeah, I think teams knowing that if you've got, it's an easier possession, that line out, it's getting so competitive. So you pack everyone down in the scrum, and particularly Samoa right here on the sideline. So they've got all their backs in so much space, and they can isolate one-on-one matchups and see which one they like best.
Bind!
Paul Scanlon to feed the scrum for Samoa in and out, but he's scragged at the base too early though. Trahan just went a little bit too early, so Sione will get them away again, and they again look to get that space wide early. Up the middle goes Matavao, and penalty Wales off their feet, Samoa. So a good let off for the Welsh here to try and get their own attacking game going. First real bit of possession for them. It's Shinowski who takes it to ground, and through the hands they go. Ball back in field for Swanwick, and Trahan again, who's the architect for Wales, and now the big ball runners get going. Good support from the skipper once more, and he'll switch play back. Straight up the middle again, Swanwick. Switch a direction, trying to press down this right through the big man Shinowski, shepherded towards the sideline, foot into touch, and they really had nowhere to go. Samoa kept the ball alive nicely, rather Wales.
Yeah, Wales coming back again to the blind side 2 or 3 times there, and if you want to stretch the defence, if you want to create holes, you do have to use the full width of the field, and Samoa, the defence was pulling up on that open side, and I think that prevented the Welsh from going there, but by coming back continuously to the defence, you make it easy because they don't have to cover as much ground, and it results in going out of bounds like that.
Good ball off the top here for Scanlon to work with for Samoa again. Out to the danger wide the try scorer, Steve Onasai, and the offload too for Mataval. Mataval puts a little footwork on and then loses his footing. Able to get the ball back in field for Scanlon, backing up well. Mataval there, but knocked on the ground.
Knock on, you're offside.
And then accidentally offside. They almost opened up once more.
Knock on.
Onasai, once again, the danger man. He made it happen earlier. He almost did it again here. Only the loss of footing preventing Samoa going in for their second try, and Wales choosing to slow it down. It's been a fast and furious start to this match. Both teams really pushing the pace. Quick lineouts, quick tap penalties. Wales saying, okay, we're going to slow this down, go to the lineout and try and build some structure into our attack now.
Yeah, clever from Trahan, isn't it? You don't want to try and chase and play at the Samoan tempo. Nails his line out as well. It's a good ball from Brown. Now they look to spread. And wide again. Looking to get the arms free as Williams. Tom Williams almost through. Trahan is there. And here's the youngster, Juan Perth Jones, just 18 years of age. And there's the ball knocked down. So Samoa will go down to 6. Deliberate knockdown. It's a key role in Sevens rugby.
Yeah, it's something that the refs are really focusing on, and it's preventing the attack. I mean, you saw he's coming from a clearly offside position, so he does knock it backwards, but he's not in a place where he's allowed to play the ball there because he was offside. Wales choosing the scrum here, so Samoa have 6 players, Wales have 7. So by choosing the scrum, Wales are able to isolate their 3 backs in a lot of space against 2 Samoan defenders, and it's going to force Samoa to scramble across the field very quickly.
It's Milani Mataval who's in the sin bin for the next couple of minutes, so big opportunity here for Wales. And they've got advantage their way as well. Tom Williams carries forward and charging up. They'll go back and play the penalty.
Hooker binding.
It's the Samoan hooker just leaving the scrum early. He knows that the space is there. He's got to get out quickly to help the defence, but just going slightly too early. Wales will be ruining that chance if they kept their depth, move the ball to the last man. Samoa are almost selling out and saying, you get it to him, he'll score, but we're going to make it difficult for you. And Wales just getting too flat to the line and making that pass too difficult on themselves.
Swanwick with the tap. Here's Trahan in the middle, looking for his ball runners. Switch back for Swanwick again, and now wide, and the hands aren't good enough though from Morgan Shanowski, in frustration too, as they had the extra numbers.
Yeah, Wales struggled last weekend, and these are the moments you've got to take advantage of. Samoa down to 6. You've got these 2 minutes. You have to score. You have to take advantage of your opportunities in this time, because they're not always going to come. They're going to be harder to come later in the match. And Wales now, they've had 2 attempts where they really should have scored, and they've passed on both of them.
Bind. Set.
Scanlon in and out quickly. Samoa on a side goes back one way, then the other, and almost stitches his mate up, but does well. Does it? Oh, Nuet gets up over the 22. They recycle again quickly. Remember, Samoa down to 6 players looking for a gap. They don't need much. And there's open territory ahead. If Wales slip off the tackles, Samoa will make you pay. And it's Va Apelu Maliko to the line, just getting there. Good chase from Wales. But Samoa bust open from inside their own half. And they get their second try of the match.
Wales missed 2 chances of their own, but Samoa only need a hint of a chance. And Maliko goes the length. So Wales will be really disappointed with that. When you've got that extra defender, sometimes I think what you see with inexperienced teams is they kind of use the same defensive structure that they always use. And so the Welsh defence fanning out wide where there weren't any Samoan attackers. When you've got 6 players in attack, often you're relying on one person just making something happen, using their footwork, using their pace, their physicality. And Malika said, hey guys, I've got this time, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to score the try right now.
Okay, thank you.
Try converted from out in front. They're back to full capacity because there's Mataval back on the field and drives the restart long, very long, too long.
Granted immediately, free kick.
Yeah, with time up on the clock, he's knowing that if he puts that out of bounds, that will be the end of the half. So trying to do that, just getting it slightly wrong, dribbling into the try area, and Wales will have a free kick and one more chance in this half. And again, choosing the scrum, choosing to bring in all these Samoan defenders. They're liking if they can isolate matchups in these wide channels. That's really what you can do off the scrums. Interesting, they've stacked 2 players behind the scrum here, so no one out on the left for the Welsh. So it'll be interesting to see if they're trying to get Samoa to commit to this left-hand side for Samoa and then exploit that.
They come over to the right through Trahan. Janowski again. And now through the line, almost to it, was Morgan Williams, taken down in a good tackle, though, by Samoa. Have been studious on defence so far, as Wales trying to find a little seam. And again, they create the chance, Wales, and then the last passes let them down once more. And we will go into the half-time break with Samoa leading Wales 14-0 in this first Pool B match. Right, let's go down and get some reaction, though, from the Ireland team and their first up win. Billy Dardis with Dallin Stanford.
Captain Billy Dardis, you must be very happy. Scotland, though, took you right to the end in that game.
Yeah, no, I suppose a win is a good start. Everyone wants to start a tournament off with a win. Bit of a shaky. It was a good start. Middle period was a bit shaky, a bit out of sorts, and then managed to close it out at the end there. Scotland were putting a lot of heat on us in the last 2 or 3 minutes there. A lot of line speed and stuff like that. But I think we kind of know that you kind of stick to what you do there and don't get too spooked by the line speed. But yeah, good start, I suppose.
Excellent tournament last week. Did you guys get some rest on the ground in Vancouver?
Yeah, we were delighted with last week. I suppose we could have got to a final and could have got a medal in the end, which would have been nice. But a decent performance for us and a lot of momentum coming off the back of Spain, so that was good. And then yeah, it was a long old trip over to Vancouver. A lot of lads suffering with some jet lag, but no, Vancouver's brilliant. It's a great city to be able to get around, have a look. We got up to Lynn Canyon there during the week for a swim, which was freezing, but it's beautiful. Vancouver's class, so it's great to be back here again after a long 2 years.
Awesome, it was great to have you back. All the best for the rest of your games.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Samoa lead Wales 14-0 at half-time in the opening match in Pool B here on day 1 of the HSBC Canada Sevens in Vancouver. And this man, Steve Onasai, cut them up early. Madison Hughes alongside me. They've been impressive so far, Samoa.
Definitely, Onasai has looked like a dangerous ball carrier. Scored the one early try on his own, almost set up another one. Samoa taking their chances, Wales not. That's really the story of that first half, and we'll see if it changes here.
Malani Mataval get us back underway. Taken in the air, knocked down and backwards, and that's come off a blue hand, a Samoa hand. Samoa in their blue and Wales in the traditional red.
No, I went backwards, then bounced forwards.
The kickoff, such an important part of rugby sevens. It allows you to build momentum, it allows you to arrest momentum, and Wales getting the first chance here in the second half.
Tom Brown good in the middle of the line out again for Wales. And just last pass letting them down in that first half, particularly when they had Samoa down to 6 players. They'll have to build from inside their own territory this time. Here's Tom Brown with the one-handed offload, flick ball out the back. Up over halfway go Wales. Really, for one of the first times. Now a tap and go again for Trahan. Wales looking to build depth in the back line. Samoa tracking across. Defence has been good in their the first half from then as well, but roll away the tackler. So a couple of penalties now piggybacking Wales downfield. Let's see if they can make the most of it. Get some points on the board. Ewan Rosser out there in jersey 12 for Wales. Couple of changes for Richie Pugh's team. Again, just running a little bit sideways, a little bit lateral, flirting with the sideline, and coming back in field. Trahan trying to create something for his wide men. Tom Williams looks to stand in the tackle and gets the offload, and he does away to the youngster, the 18-year-old Juan Pearce-Jones.
Stay, back to one's on now, thank you.
Side to side, using the full width, trying to find a seam, and the inside ball, it comes finally. It was a little sleight of hand, and the new man on the field at halftime, Ewan Rosser, scores to get Wales on the board.
Really important try for Wales there. They'd promised so many times in that first half. They just stay patient. There was nothing complicated about that attack. They worked Samoa width to width to width, and if you do that enough times in sevens, the defense will get tired and gaps will appear. It's interesting that they're not quite hitting onto the ball, kind of chain passing the ball across the field, which is allowing Samoa, who aren't getting quite as much width off the breakdowns, to move across the pitch and cover the attack. But again, by just staying patient, going through phases, the Samoan defense, one defender got lazy and that inside ball was on, and Wales score under the post.
Converted too, so all of a sudden Wales, having chased the game in the first half, right back into it. 14-7 now, Samoa lead, and Johanna's pinpoint
backwards.
off the restart. It goes backwards
Play.
off a Samoan hand, and Onosai tidies up. Saltui Huta on in jersey 2. There he is in the headgear there, going in to support.
Off now,
Some
tackle off.
driving defence comes in for Wales. Oh, little scat though, straight in around the ruck, scooting away is Scanlon. He's spied and he's going to take them on himself. He's had the Welsh defence at 6s and 7s. Jones is chasing and Scanlon got the pace. Great chase again from the youngster from Wales, but he's got it down again. Scanlon spied the opening at the base of the ruck, flew through the middle, and he restores a good advantage for Samoa.
Fantastic individual try from Scanlon there. He didn't heed much of an invitation. A small gap around the edge of the breakdown, steps the sweeper and goes the length. Fantastic chase from Pierce Jones, and that's the second one. He almost stopped one earlier, almost stopped this one. I think that's a great habit you've got to keep training, but hasn't had the luck so far. But Samoa again, Wales had to work so hard for their try, go through so many phases, and Samoa score instantly right back, and that gets them right back on the front foot and will cause those Welsh heads. They worked so hard for that try. Can they keep that optimism going? Can they keep chasing this game? Or is that going to be a try that causes them to drop their heads and lose hope?
They're going up in multiples of 7 for Samoa as well.
You go, I'll drop back.
21 points to 7 now. Wales have to find another way back in. Ball's laid back for Tom Williams to clear. Johan goes back to the blind side, working down a pretty narrow channel and getting through was Williams. It's Tom Williams. Conversion, Samoa didn't count for the last one, so they're not going up in multiples of 7. Took too long to kick it, so we're back to 19-7. Still a handy lead as Lloyd Lewis goes forward for Wales. Flirts with the sideline once more, and it's bounced kindly for Samoa. Saltui Huta looks for the inside ball. The flick pass was there for Onosai. A bit of razzle-dazzle didn't quite come off, and the frustration from Steve Onosai. And again, they will punish any mistake.
They will instantly back on the attack. I mean, the Welsh mistake, and Samoa off to the races. You think they're in, the good footwork. Nice little switch here to cause the break. The try line is begging, just unable to take it. Samoa, they don't need half an invitation, do they? They're right on the attack and chasing every opportunity.
Set!
The attack has been obviously excellent. The Samoan defence has been very hard to crack, really well organised. Didn't concede many tries last week in Singapore either. Have to defend again here, and that's a big heavy tackle from Nuet.
Side entry.
It was the entry of the player, not the tackle that the penalty was for. So opportunity here for Wales. That's gone forward though if it finds hands. We'll play on, or not. Flat instead, perhaps. As Chris Smith goes up the middle.
Tackle.
Ball knocked down in the tackle, so that's play on for Wales, and now just a change of tactics, trying to stab a little kick in behind. And now the slip is on his side through that ball. It's so awkward. He's done really well, his Yafeta Purcell, and the offload too. And again, Samoa will break out from inside their own territory. They've even turned an error, a fumble, a trip and a slip into a try. Samoa go coast to coast, and Va'apelu Maliko will finish it off. It could have gone horribly wrong at the other end. Instead, they score, and that should be enough to ice this game.
Samoa again taking advantage of the Welsh mistakes, and sometimes the most dangerous pass can be one that's bouncing on the ground. The defense sits back on their heels, aren't sure exactly what to do, and the Samoan attackers, they're so deadly one-on-one. The footwork, the power, the physicality, and that means that broken defense off a turnover can be their biggest opportunity to go the length. And a fantastic try there from Samoa, and as you said, that should put this game to rest, and Wales will rue their mistakes. They had opportunities in this match, 3 or 4 now, where one pass and they're going to be in for the try, and they've created those chances but just not able to take advantage of them. But the Samoan defense as well, staying in the fight right to the end, not giving anything up. and continuing to fight.
That one's not going to go 10, Samoa. Of course, this is just their second tournament, hence why they are sitting down the bottom of the log at the moment. They have shown in Singapore last week and in this opening match so far today, they are going to be putting teams on notice. New look, very much a new look Samoan side. Lots of young players made their debuts last week under their coach, the great Brian Lemar.
Bind. Sit.
Wales will keep playing though, every point counts. Trying to get through to quarterfinals and beyond.
Strong again.
And yeah, they'll scrum again.
Yeah, Wales have made this decision quite a few times over the course of the match, choosing to take the scrum, bring in the defenders, and that's the big advantage of the scrum. You've got 6 players all in this small space, so if you've got those individual attackers who you think that when they get those one-on-one opportunities, they're going to be able to take advantage, scrum is a great option for your team.
Bind. Sit.
Wales go from the back of the scrum to the right, allowed to run, and the offload is good too for Rosser, one of the try scorers, trying to get around the outside, gets the ball back in field for Rosser. Well, it's good perseverance from Wales. Opted to have the scrum on halfway and were able to break out down the right. Ewan Ross has come on and scored a couple of good tries in the second half as they kept going at Samoa.
Yeah, nice little offload there from Wales, and they deserved a second try in this match. I think they've done well creating, continuing to fight, and this could be an important try, could be an important conversion coming up, because every point can count, particularly as you look at their pool. If you can get into that slightly higher seeding matchup in whichever side of the draw you end up on, that could be important.
It's a great start though for Samoa on day one here in Vancouver. They've finished off with a strong win, 26-12 over Wales.